Good day to everybody. Dirghayushman Bhava. So I'm continuing my part 5 in Sanskrit and artificial intelligence. This is part 5. Because when I went through various other commentators' articles on Rigbrig's articles, some of them, especially I think in Tech Greek and others, I found that they are not really accepting the spirituality in Sanskritam, that is in Sanskrit. They are questioning it. Well, I am going to prove that Sanskritam has spirituality, it is divine, both from the Vedic and Hindu philosophy concept and from the scientific concept. I'm going to prove, whereas those authors, they have never disproved it, they are only saying in a statement that we don't believe in the spirituality, but what are the facts on which they base for this statement of non-belief that Sanskritam is not spiritual is not defined there. Anyhow, I'm going to start. You see, from the Vedic concept, we have a very famous verse called Enakshara Samamnaya Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha. See, yena means it comes from yaha, whom, who. Yaha yau ye, yam yau yan, yena yabhyam yehi, yasmai yabhyam yebhya. Like that it goes, the conjugation. Into 7 vibhaktis we have. So, by which, ena, by which, ekavachanam, singularity, by which or with which, or along with, like that you can conjugate. Yena, yenakshara, akshara means alphabets. Samamnaya means total collection, having Samamnaya, after having collected in totality all these aksharas, all these alphabets, Adhigamya, and after having attained all the Adhigamya means comes from the root gum. Gum means to go. Adhigamya means actually having attained, having obtained, like that you can say. Adhigamya, like that the formation comes. Adhigamya Maheshwarat. From Maheshwara means Lord Shiva. Like Ramat, Panchami Vibhakti, it's there. So, Enakshara Samamnaya Adhigamya Maheshwara. From Lord Shiva, having collected and obtained in totality of the collection Samamnaya, all the alphabets by Lord Shiva, with Lord Shiva they have collected. Actually, there is a Lord Shiva carries a drum. He was actually in the Rudra Dhandava, in his cosmic dance, he was playing the drum. So from there, the alphabets of Sanskrit, it had come, having obtained that. Now what happens? Yenakshara Samamnaya Adhigamya Maheshwarat, from Maheshwara, from Lord Shiva, Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam. Kritsnam, complete, totality. Kritsnam Vyakaranam, all Vyakaranas. Proktam is said, Tasmai, to him. It's a Chaturthi Vibhakti. Tasmai Sahataute Tam Tautan Tena Tabhyam Taihi Tasmai Tabhyam Tebhya. Tasmai Panineye, to the Panini Namaha. I worship, I prostrate. Namaha, I salute. That means Panine, actually the alphabets came from Lord Shiva, the Hindu deity, the Rudra Dhandava. From him, when the alphabets came and having obtained that, complete Vyakaranam was constructed by Panini, and to him I prostrate. That is a broad meaning of these words. That is one probably Westerners will not believe. Okay, fine. I'm not going into that. Now I am going to come into even in the Sanskritam grammar. Now see the beauty and please watch very carefully. In Sanskritam grammar, in the past tense, we have the immediate past tense, that is during our lifetime, say about 100 years, up to 100 years back, and the distant past. The immediate past tense we conjugate by lang lakaraha. And the distant past, say Panini's time or Mahabharata time or 1000 years back or 500 years back, when our present generation were not existing, parokshanam, we cannot see them. Those people who existed, you cannot see them. Parokshana priyaya ivahi devaha, we say. Devas like that. They are very distant past. We have what is known as lit lakara. Now you take the verb kr, means act of doing. It's a very important, powerful verb. Now how do I conjugate for the immediate past tense in lang lakara? I conjugate like this. Aham akkaravam. See, I do conjugate in first person, second person, third person. Singularity, duality and plurality, plural. So akkaravam, akkurvaha, akkurma, akkurva, akkurma. Sorry, no visargaha. Akkurva, akkurma. That means aham akkaravam, avam akkurva, vayam akkurma, tvam akkaroho, yuvam akkurutam, yuyam akkuruta, saha or saha akkarot, tau saha tau, akkurutam, te akkuruvan. So saha tau, you can say saha tau te or sa te taha in feminine gender. That is the immediate past tense. Now you come to the lit lakara, where is distant past. Chakara, I can say chakriva, chakrima, chakartha, chakra tuhu, chakra, sah chakara, then chakra tuhu, first ta tuhu, chakruhu. Very clear. So aham I say means chakara, avam chakriva, vayam chakrima. Like this, saha if I say saha chakara, like that you can understand. There is a formation, 9 formations are there. Okay. So even in Atmanepadi you have chaktre, aham chaktre means Atmanepadi, I told you earlier, refers to the action which I do for myself. And Parasmai Padam refers to the action I do or he does for somebody else. Aham akkaravam means I did for somebody else. Saha akkarot means he did for somebody else. That is Parasmai Padam. That I am not going again. I have already explained in the previous portions. Now what does it mean? You see, please go into the semantics of it. What does it mean? Why did Panini create a distant past, the lit lakara, in first person and second person? Third person, okay, I don't mind. Saha chakara, Panini chakara. Panini did it 500 years back, or the First World War happened some 40-50 years back, it's okay. Or the other wars, the great wars, whatever it is, or great famine or great industrial revolution took place 250 years back. You can say whatever you want. Distant past, saha in third person. But in first person and second person, why did Panini create in lit lakara for distant past? When I say aham chakara, you will only think how I can say I did it 5,000 years back or 3,000 years back. I can exist maximum in our lifetime is 100 years. So how can I refer to an event which I did or you did? Tvam chakartha, if I say you did it, you will only laugh at me. Because it is referring to basically the lit lakara refers to about 1,000 years, 500 years distant past. When our lifetime is 100, why Panini brought in the first person and the second person? Third person, okay. It is where the spiritual science lies. What is that? See, Hindus believe in reincarnation. And in reincarnation, even everybody, even Ian Stevenson or Raymond Moody, they all are very top class educated people who conducted field researches and proved it. So when a Rishi says aham chakara, I did it, means he refers to his previous births. Probably 500,000 years back from the time of his existence, he refers to. Probably nowadays we have forgotten all those spiritual signs. We have forgotten. We cannot know our previous births, right? But those rishis knew. They knew their previous births, whether it was in the form of a bird, in the form of a tree, in the form of a human being, inside a stone. They knew. They knew that. That is why the first person, when a rishi says Tvam Chakarta, means if he refers to talking to somebody else in the second person, you did it, means he is talking, they are conversing, you did it some 300-400 years back, I know that. That means they were aware of their previous births. That means by the Sanskrit language is so constructed and so divine and so spiritual that the knowledge of spiritual births were available in those generations. Otherwise, what is the fun in bringing a lit lakara, a distant past? Which language has it? Which language has this distant past tense. They have a past tense, only one past tense referring to the immediate past or the distant past. But here we have a separate lakaraha called lit lakaraha referring to distant past tense both in the Parasmaipadi and in the Atmanepadi. How and why? See, if you come to the Vedas, Bhagavan says in Krishna Bhagavan says in Gita chapter 4, verse 5, he says to Arjuna, hey Arjuna, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava cha Arjuna tani aham veda sarvani na tvam vetha parantapasvi. You do not know. Bahuni me vyatitani. I have spent janmani, janmas, births and deaths. My body has gone and my atma, I am a paramatma. That's what he means. Bahuni me janmani vyatitani tava, yours also Arjuna, tani, those, aham, I, Veda, no, sarvani, all, I know them all. Na tvam vetha parantapa. Hey, you are the parantapasvi, but you do not know those births. And again, if you go to Bhagavan, he says, in chapter 2, 22 and 23, we have beautiful verses. One is, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naraha aparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyati samyati navani dehi. Bhagavan says very clearly, Vasamsi, dress, jirnani, digested, yatha, as it is, vihaya, leaving, navani, new, aparani, another, samyati, enters, the dehi, the atma. Navani, samyati, navani, dehi. Anyani, samyati, navani, dehi. Another, it accepts, it enters. Samyati, praveshanam, enters. Navani, new garment, new, the dehi, the atma. Tatha, in the same way, sharirani vihaya jirnani, the digested body vihaya, leaving, anyani, another, samyati, enters, navani, dehi. New body, navani, samyati, it enters, anyani, another new, the dehi, the atma, it enters a new. And that was very clear. The digested garment is thrown away, vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya, navani grihnati means accepts. Naraha aparani, another. Grihnati means he is accepting. Tatha, in the same way, sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. That means there is nothing called a judgment. Your atma keeps on entering bodies. Yonim manye prabhadyante shariradvaya deinaha sthanum manye anusamyanti yatha shruta yatha karma. Very clearly, Gadopanishad, Yamadharmaraja talks to the 9-year-old boy Nachiketa when the boy is asking. I will come to that. Therefore, everywhere in our Vedas, even in Chandogya Upanishad, unless you merge with the divine light, you will be keeping on, the Avartanam will take place, Punarjanma and Punarmanma. Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam. My Acharya, Shankaracharya, Bhagavad Pada in those times told, Rachayan Chakrire, he wrote, distant past I am using for Rachanam, writing. So, what I mean to say, and even there is a beautiful verse supporting this. Thiruvalluvar, 60 years before the common era he was born, and he says, very beautifully, Piravai Kadal Ninduvar, Piravi Perungadal, in verse number 10. Piravi Perungadal Ninduvar, Nita Iraivan Adi Sheradar. So, Piravi Perungadal, that means the birth and death, the ocean of birth and death, they will swim. Ninduvar. Nindar. They cannot swim who do not reach the feet of the Lord. That means, if you reach the feet of the Lord, you will swim cross over the ocean of Punarjanma and Punarmarana, this life. That means, you are having the Punarjanma and Punarmarana. Therefore, not only Samskrita, even our Indian culture establishes there is reincarnation unless you merge yourself with the divine light. You have to pay for your sins. There is no free lunch for you. As thou sow, thou shalt reap. That is all. And for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, third law of motion, by your own Western scientist Newton. Now, scientifically, how it can come? Spirituality in Samskrita. Scientifically, also it is proved. What is proved? Matter cannot be created or destroyed. Antonio Velocious experiment in the 17th century. He was a royal prince. Finally, he was executed by the French revolutionary people. And Einstein accepted. That is, at the time of the Big Bang, all those things has been created and destroyed. That's all. Now, you cannot create or destroy anything. They only change the form. Even if you take the Higgs boson, 10,000th of a trillionth of a second it lives, and then it changes its form. What form we do not know, but out of 1,000 times they say two forms will be in protons or whatever it is. Whatever it is, we do not know. Protons are different from neutrons, and neutrons are different from electrons, and they are all different from photons. Photons are particles in light which do not decay. They are highly impartial at that state of existence. If you are a photon, impartial, God creates you in an impartial way, no partiality by God, but you are responsible. That is what even in Bhagavad Gita it says, Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayanti apaha, na soshayati maruta. Nainam chindanti, na yenam, this chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, this fire, no burning. Na chainam, na cha enam, kledayanti apaha, wetting, the water cannot wet it. Na soshayati maruta, it cannot dry it also, the wind. It is created means created. It can change its form. It can enter something. So it enters. So what does it mean? See, in physics, we are having what is known as a missing mass. You must be knowing that. Less than iron, when elements merge them, fuse themselves. Suppose you take helium isotopes. 4 helium isotopes merged together. Say each one is 1 microgram in weight. 4, when the 4 combines, it will be only 3.5. The 0.5 is the energy released. Because when they fuse, they release the energy. That's a fusion process. That is a thermonuclear fusion our sun is having now. Now, same way, say if you take a dead body, the boy Nachiketa asks Yamadharmaraja, this man is dead, what is happening? Now, when people are alive, they have the energy, what is known as the life force, and the matter, the body. Correct. They jump, they do. Just like in a toy car, you put a battery, then it plays well. Then if you remove the battery, the car stops there. There is no energy to drive it. Likewise, energy or the life force should be inside the body. Everything is energy and matter, right? When the energy goes out, now the body is there. If you weigh the dead body and then you burn it, the weight released, that is the dead body converts itself into carbon or sulfur or iron or water vapor, whatever it is. The total weight after burning will be the same as the dead body when it was before burning or before cremation or before decay. Plus the energy that is released out. And this energy is a life force which enters into various bodies. It can enter into sthanum manya, he says, Yamadharmaraja. It will enter into immovable, like a stone, like a tree. Everything has life, not in this, only in this universe. It goes Proxima Centauri, Alpha Centauri, or to the next galaxy, Andromeda galaxy. It may go anywhere. We do not know where the energies go and which body it enters. It all depends, yata shruta, yata karma. You, as per your actions only, it will enter. It decides to purify itself. Now, when Sanskrit can explain the lit lakaraha and the lang lakaraha, and it is based on the Western science of matter cannot be created or destroyed, because the rishis, when they refer to their previous births, are not completely dead. Their Atma has now entered into their present format, whatever it is. What more science you require to prove that Sanskritam is not spiritually inclined? Which language you have, sir? Like this present past and distant past, come on. And beautifully structured in Atmanepadi, in Parasmaipadi, and singularity, duality, the plurality, first person, second person, third person. Which language you have? So how can you say that Sanskritam is not spiritual? Therefore, my dear friends, I am ending my part 5 today. Sanskritam is also spiritual, though this portion, spirituality in Sanskritam, is minor when in relevance to Sanskritam and artificial intelligence, because of the comments made by various authors about the spirituality, and some call it all hoax. Hype may be there. Hype may be there. If I say hype is there in every religion, in every language, hype is there, and an extension of an appreciation or a praise is always found in human writings. If you say I am 6 feet tall, somebody will say Vishwanathan is so tall that he is 6.5 feet. I mean, actually, it is in a hype. But the real fact is the existence of that state is not refuted. You cannot refute, but you can build upon that and praise more. 1, 2, 3, you can rise up on your praises, but you cannot defeat the basic tenet. The basic semantics you cannot defeat. Therefore, Sanskritam cannot be a hoax. Please don't use the hoax. There may be a hype. So, my dear friends, I am concluding this. I am part 5. More of it and my conclusions will follow in the ensuing parts. Till such time, Bhuyat Tavat Shubhamangalam. Thank you.